Good morning, November 15th, Friday, November 15th. It is 9:26 and about 26 minutes later than I wanted to start this video, but I got busy. So how are you people doing? Hope you're doing right, having a good day. Hope you have a good Friday. And yes, I know it's been a minute since I've talked to you. I've been dealing with this, dealing with a couple other things, and I just didn't have the time to make a YouTube video. But I do today, which is how Fridays are usually winding up. Is mornings are pretty boring around here. Sometimes. A lot of times I'm busy out working, but sometimes, like today, oh, I do have things to do. Oh my, do I ever. Oh my. What am I going to do first? Well, I'm going to move you guys over just a bit. Put some stuff away here. So you remember. Yeah, this is getting dirty. So, I've been to the doctor for my eye thing here. Well, not my eye. It's not my eye. It's down here. It's down below my... It's on my nose. Lower part of my nose. Kind of attached to my cheek, kind of, sort of. I've dealt with this 3 times. Dr. Logan wants it drained. The second doctor said, yeah, we're going to get it drained. We're going to set up an appointment. And then yesterday, my mom and I went to the clinic. And this guy says there's not enough fluid there to drain. So I prefer not to do anything. He did he gave me some more of my meds that I'm on. He seems to think that'll help. And for the most part it has. It has gone down quite a bit. This is smaller than what it used to be. This used to be from here all the way out here. It was pushing up my bottom eyelid. It was getting so swollen, my bottom. And I could see my bottom. You're not supposed to see the bottom of your eyelids normally, I don't think. Like now, I can't see them. But before, it was up high enough where I actually could see a line down here where my eyebrow was. And now, the swelling's down enough, it's back down to normal. This may not go away. We may have to live with this. He said this is going to turn probably into a zit or something. I don't know what he said. Something that may just stay there, and if I want, they'll just come up here and just clip it off. And I'd rather have them freeze it off, to be honest with you. That'd be a lot quicker than cutting it off. And he said the fluid's almost gone, because he said he just poked around here and he says, this hurt? And I said, no, none of that hurts. He said, then the fluid, there is a little bit of fluid. I can feel it. It's right there, but it's such a small little pocket right here. It's not going to bother me. I'm doing the worm compresses, 3 times a day for 15 minutes. That seems to pull all the fluid that was up here. It seems to have all gone down to about right there. There's a little pocket of fluid I can feel right there. It kind of needs to drain, and I think it will on its own as long as I do the worm compresses. Medication. I got this other stuff that my friend gave me that will pull the fluid to the surface of my skin, and then I just sit here and I just kind of push the fluid out, or the pus, as some people call it. Up here, that's what it was pus was coming out up here for some reason. I didn't understand that. You'd think it'd be coming out down here, but no, it was coming out up here. Whatever. Okay, enough of the medical stuff. Don't want to talk about medical stuff. I don't like talking about it. I did avoid the needles yesterday. I won't avoid them forever. It's going to happen eventually. And yes, I drink my Mountain Dew like I drink my beer. Or I used to drink my beer. I can't drink beer anymore. It just does not work with me. And for whatever that reason is, I don't know. Oh, yeah, Tony. You're wanting to know if this will work? Oh, you know what? I'll figure that out later, but I do believe that will. I think this is actually taller than it needs to be. So I need to put that down here. Let's see if that'll fit, and I think it will. If not, there's other GPU support brackets now that I've got the correct name to it. One of the things I've been waiting to work on and get this in there. And getting this in there, well, that's taking a little bit of time. I haven't even unboxed it yet, and I need to do that one of these days too. Which I might just skip all that and take this video card, put it in there, then figure out how to wire it up. I think the only thing that's left on that power supply is, on the back of the power supply, is VGA. And from what everybody's telling me, the new standard today, or not new standard, it's been that way for a while, that stands for video. Because it's got VGA on the back of the power supply. It's got a VGA cord that goes into this. And that's how I'm going to do it. And the reflection. That's the problem when you're standing over a light like this, is you get reflection real bad. So you can't even read that through the TDRX fan 3.0. What the fuck? Torx fan, TORX fan 3.0. The award-winning Torx Fan 3 pushes the limits of thermal performance further than before, creating more static air pressure. Zero Frozer is the calm before the storm, keeping the fan still and maintaining silence until cooling is needed. You know, I don't know about some of you guys out there in the tech world, but I'm not really a fan of zero turn. I'm really wishing, I understand why they want to do it, but, you know, for silence, they want these computers to make no sound at all, which makes no sense to me. I think every computer makes noise. It's just people's ability to hear that little eensy beaty tiny little sound. Their hearing has gone to the point where they can't hear it anymore. And mine's still pretty good, but I can hear most fans running, even though I do consider them very quiet. They make some noise when they're running. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the zero turn. I wish the fans would be running all the time, and I think there is a way to set it so you can do that in BIOS. Yeah, it's got MSI center. I don't know if I'll use that. MSI Afterburner, I will use that. But this is overclocked enough, so I don't need to. It's already 12 gigabytes. I don't need any more than that for video editing. I don't know. It's an RTX, so it should do video editing. No one's ever told me yet if it'll do video editing. The rendering. You know, in DaVinci, when you get done clipping your video together or doing whatever, then you render it. One of the slower parts that I have is because of one of the slower things in that process is rendering. Because that video card that I use, it has got nothing to do with video. It's a pass-through is all it is. It runs video through it so you can see it on your monitors, but that's all it does. I finally read up onto it, and I asked other people on the interweb of what this Radeon Asus card that I have, which is, just to remind you guys, and I know you're probably getting tired of me reminding you of all the time of the junk that I have. I'm sorry. This is my life. This is what I do in my life, so this is what I'm using now in there. And this is only 4 gigabytes. PCI 4.0. 1080 FHD gaming memory and the support. So it supports PCI 4.0. That supports what the fuck? That supports 4.0. That, I believe, 3.0? Yeah, that computer, no. That one runs, this video slot, the Time 16 runs at 3.0. This one, the B560, there it is. The B560. Come on, turn on. This B560, which is that one. This does run at 4.0 because it's LGA 1200. I think it runs at 4.0, and I have to check the manual again. I have such bad memory, I can't remember what has what. And this only has RDNA 2 architecture. This one, I think because it's GeForce. I don't think it'll say if it's RDNA 2 or not, or 3 or 4 or whatever. It has a 3060. RTX, there's the full name of it. MSI Ventus 2, 12 gigabyte GDDR6. I remember when DDR4, 3 and 4 were out. Now we're up to 6 already. Goodness. And it's 3060. And 12 gigabyte. Where do I want to start with this? I think I'll take the power supply out of that. Unhook what I've got hooked. I've only got it hooked up to keep the motherboard alive. There are no other peripherals hooked up to it because it runs. All it's doing is just running the motherboard. So with that, I think what I'm going to do. Oh, another thing. I'm gonna end up using these today, I swear. And I have to because the EPS connector on this one is not exactly fun at all. And you can't even see it, but it's way up here in the corner. Way up here, way up here. And you have to get your fat fingers into a tiny little area about that long to get that connector on there. And that's an 8-pin. And then I have the case fan that sits right next to it. So I've got 2 plugs I need to plug in. And I think Duratec 7-inch pliers will do just the trick. I hope. Because I also have to see if I can get my power light working. This is the power button and there's a light that's supposed to turn on. My reset also is not working. I've got it, I've got that foobarred somehow. Because I can sit here and hit that button. It's also recessed so badly. Which is good. You won't accidentally hit it, but to actually hit it, yeah, I really have to stick my fingernail. I don't have any fingernails in there. I can barely push that button. So this is again the 4000D. I know Kerry was looking for cases in yesterday's video. I think he'd do fine with a 4000D white. I really do. I think he'd do fine. That's what this is. It's a 4000D. It works perfectly fine for me. Rather than having... Oh yeah. Foggy today. Not as foggy as it has been in the past, because you normally could not see that bridge. On a real foggy day, you can't see that bridge at all. Back to the computers. This is the 5000D. I mean, look how taller, look how much taller that thing is. Can you see? Yeah, you guys can see. See how tall this is? I can put 3 140 fans up in the front. With this one, I can put 3 120s up front, not 3 140s. So, there you go. I can put 2 140s or 3 120s up there. Whereas in the 5000D, you can already do 3 140 millimeter fans up top or in front. Up top, you can also do. No, wait, no, I got that wrong. Okay, up top you can do 3 120s, and then the front, I think you can do 2 140s. I think. So I know you can do 3 120s. Maybe you can only do 2 140s. I can't remember. Again, I'd have to look back in the manual, and right now I'm not interested in getting out the manual. It always takes 3 tries to get this drawer open, and I don't know why. Some other things I would like to replace. Now that we're on the subject of hardware, the USB extension so that I can extend, because now I got the webcams out here. Now I'm thinking I want to do the webcams out here. There's one up top over there, and one on top over there, and then I'm thinking somehow, because the light is so bad in here, I have to get some lights up here. But the lights are so bad up here that I'm probably going to take this webcam, fold it up, and then find a way of getting that to stick out here somewhere. So I can have it pointed down a little bit, so it'll be seeing me. I don't know. What do you guys think? Out here, which I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'll figure it out. Here, or here. Because this one is back here, guys. There really is just not enough light. Oh, sorry guys, I'm trying to do this all one-handed. So excuse my fidgetiness, or however you say it. But that's what I'm thinking. You know, at the Zoom homies, 9 o'clock Central, but I get on at 10:05 or something, because that's when my company leaves. Brett came over last night and chewed off a little bit of the legs. See the sawdust on the floor? So this is a little bit shorter. Needs to come down a little bit more. Because the top of this is 30 inches. The top of this right here is 30 inches from here to the floor. It's 30 inches from the floor all the way up to the top. 30 inches. I was going to have this at 30 inches, but now I cut it down to 29 because Brett's going to cut it down to 29 because this here sits at 28.5. So if I go a half inch higher than what this is, which is 29 inches, yeah, I think that'll do fine. I think I can live with that. Now, as far as this wire shelf, I know I'm throwing a lot at you guys of the things I plan on doing, and whether I do them or not, I don't know. I'm just shooting ideas at you guys, and just shooting ideas at you to see what you think, because I don't know what to think of this idea. And I'm gonna talk to you now. Uh, this is too low. I don't want it that low. Want the bottom to sit. Come on, turn on. See where this bottom sits? Down here. I want the bottom of this to come up to about here, which would fill the gap from here all the way up to the top of this. Or, here's the second idea. Take the shelf out, then take this thing, and raise it all the way up so the top of this computer comes up to here. So instead of it being down here, I'm thinking of taking the shelf out, which is a bad idea because then I have no shelf to put this lovely, beautiful stuff and whatever. I don't like things sitting on top of my printer, so then I just take everything and I put it like that. How am I gonna do this if the shelf is missing because I want this to sit up higher? Furthermore, where am I gonna put the printer? Glad you asked. That printer is gonna go down here. It's gonna go down there because this, remember, this shelf here that the computer is sitting on, it more than likely is gonna come up to where the top comes up to right to the bottom of this. So then how do you plug it in your front USBs? I probably won't. I've got a USB-C in the back. So this USB-C here, the USB-C there, I really don't need it. And there's the reset button that's giving me all kinds of grief. It is so recessed. You'd literally almost have to take a pen, poke that thing just to get it. It is so, which is a good thing. But boy, they really recessed that. That's too far down, too low for me, but whatever. Power button, then I gotta get the power light to work. See, there it is. There's no power light. There's supposed to be a light in there, and I can't get it to freaking turn on. I've taken the power light thing, leads on the whatever you call it, the front panel connector. It just will not work. So I'm going to have to do some wiring magic on this thing to get the power light to work. I need to check to see if all these fans are PWM. I'm starting to think they're not. Because Catherine asked me that the other day. Is all your fans PWM? The front one is. The CPU for the Mugen 5, I believe that is 4-pin, I think. And then the case fan, I do believe, is. Although I'd have to check, I'm starting to doubt myself. I think that back case fan is a 3-pin. I think that back case fan is what I'm hearing the fans ramp up. And boy, when these fans ramp up, they almost go wide open. They go from idle to a very loud state for a half second, and then they quiet down. And they go right back up to 6,000 RPMs again, and then they come back down to the regular 700s as they usually run. It'll go up to 3,000 for 2 or 3 seconds, and then calm back down. It's quiet now because I've got everything paused. Here's the funny thing. This is just the funny thing. I don't understand this. And I wish you guys could hear it. But, yeah, I'm watching Chris Titus. Again, I like Chris Titus. See, just doing that, affected the fans. The fan speed just went up. which is technically supposed to happen, I think, whenever. But here's the funny thing. The fans went up when I just scroll the mouse. Just from doing this. Makes the fans go up to 3,000, and now they're coming back down, and let's just keep doing this. Yeah, the fan speed goes up. I don't know why it does that, just scrolling the mouse. Just doing this. And the fan speeds go to full speed. They calm right back down again, but even when it's sitting here, now I'll leave it alone for a second. In fact, I'll even turn. No, I won't because I'm watching that. Damn it. But yeah, a little fan mystery there. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Did I take the top fans out of this thing? Because I know I was going to put some fans in this thing, but somebody talked me out of doing that, which is probably a good idea. You really don't need top fans. I don't like Carrie's idea that you only need 3 fans, or 2 fans, which I disagree with. I always have and probably always will. You should have a 1, 2, 3. Fan air coming in. The CPU cooler is catching that air that's coming in, shoves it through the cooler, then the case fan pulls the rest of it out. And he said you don't need all this junk in here. You just need that fan in the middle, and the case, which I disagree with. There's not enough cross flow. It just, with this one, and to be honest, maybe it's just the Corsair cases, but airflow does not flow in these cases. It gets just beyond the back of the fan. You put your hand and you can't feel anything, and that's as fast as those fans are running. And you go right behind the fan, you can't feel the air coming out of it. And that's at, what, 2,000 RPMs? So I don't know if it's just the Corsair cases that the airflow just doesn't get to the back. So if I put my hand back here, barely feeling any air. But that's cool air that's coming out, but I'm barely feeling it. This should be enough to dry your hands off of, in my opinion. But you would have to ramp this fan speed up so high you wouldn't be able to stand it. So I don't know. It does keep itself cool. I do have to redo my thermal paste. Yeah. End of discussion on that one. I just have to redo the thermal paste. So, again, to wrap up for today, I don't know if I'll get to it, because I want to get this table done. And if it's going to be as foggy as it's going to be today, Brett may not want to come over. He'll just say, I think I'll stay home today. It's too foggy. Which, to be honest with you, I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to drive in the fog. But I got to get this table done. Get it down to where I need it. Then, well, that'll probably be the first thing I do, is get that table done. And then get everything else done. So with that, being that I've now been talking for 35 minutes, I'm going to shut my pie hole now. I'm going to say goodbye to you folks. I do hope you all have a good day. I know I talked a lot today. I promise my videos won't be this long, but it's Friday. I haven't really talked to anybody for the last 3 days, except for doctors and people I didn't want to talk to. It's bad for me to say I don't want to talk to a doctor, but when it comes to needles doing something like this, no. And my mom asked me when we got back out to the car after we left Essentia Clinic. She said, "Why'd you talk to the doctor again out of not draining that?" "Because, Mom, it's gonna hurt like a son of a bitch." "Well, only for a second." "That's a second too long." I don't want it to hurt for a second. That's too long for me. When you go 1001 for a very high rate of pain for 1 second, That's too long for me. I can't stand it. I get very uncomfortable in that 1 second. And then I do change my mind and I say, okay, yeah, we're done, we're done, we're done. I'm walking out, I'm leaving. But like I said, it'll get done eventually. It's got to get done, so. But this doctor is trying to comfort me and trying to delay the needles and the cutting and whatever else. He's trying to save me the agony of having to go through that, because I told him I'm really not going to be comfortable with you sticking needles in my face. He understood. He said, I get you. I hear you. But he said, Rick, sometimes we have to do things we don't like to do. And he said, for right now, he doesn't need to do anything with it. If the fluid comes back or this infection doesn't go away, then, yeah. He said it's cutting time, because they'll cut this whole thing out. They'll start up here, go around the nose, and just go straight up and just... So I'll have a little bit of a scar. Oh, well. I wasn't born to be pretty. And people don't like looking at me with a scar on my face, well then, don't look at me. It's like I say now, if you guys don't like it that I have this thing on my face, which will disappear eventually, he thinks on his own, the doctor that I talked to yesterday thinks this might disappear on its own someday. May not be in a couple of months, but 4 months from now, he thinks this will disappear on its own. That's why he doesn't want to do anything with it. Even though I think I convinced him. Alright guys, I'm done blabbing. I'm gonna post this video, and then, being that this is a 35-minute video, it's gonna take 2 hours for it to upload. Or 3 hours, actually. Because my speeds... The last thing I'm gonna talk to you guys about. Because I know some of you would like to know, what's your speeds at today? Well... See, download is pretty damn good today at 75. It's the upload that's gonna suck. Yeah, we're doing good at the download, 75. Now, let's do the upload. Whoa. Ladies and gentlemen, 29.6. Yeah, I'm gonna get this video uploaded before it drops. So, upload is 75.4. That's the download. Upload is 29.6 today, right now. I'm going to get this video uploaded. Talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Enjoy your Friday. Bye for now.